Hi guys, this is Daniel. This is just a course on solfeggio frequencies and vortex mathematics. It's something I've been tuning into in the last while. I see a lot of synchronistic numbers now at the moment. We have dreams maybe of maths and things like that. But a couple of years ago, I also had synchronistic numbers and felt like something was kind of downloading information inside me within dreams and that. And a lot of kind of knowledge kind of come into my mind. I started researching things on the Bible and things like that years ago, but at the moment I'm having dreams about maths and maybe chemical things like leaves and things like that. And this is just maybe something I'm in tune into at the moment. Like I said, I see a lot of synchronistic numbers at the moment, and I want to explain my kind of understanding of solfeggio frequencies and vortex mathematics and how it kind of plays out in a maybe you could say a universal way or a divine way. A lot of people who believe they're spiritual or on a divine path will talk about synchronistic numbers, synchronistic patterns, and events that seem to happen in their lives. And I want to show you how solfeggio frequencies kind of plays a role within that, within the nature. So this is maybe like a storm that kind of goes on inside people. You like in a kind of a biblical sense or a faith-based sense, you talk about the storm and Jesus is the master of the storm and he'll guide you through it. But there's numbers you can understand about the storm and you can begin to understand how the storm kind of functions. And this is what I want to explain in this video, that recently I've had great kind of dreams and feelings of Jesus and feelings of compassion. I believe that Jesus kind of given me knowledge within and has given me the numbers to understand the storm within. So solfeggio frequencies then are numbers which are, they're like frequencies that vibrate in a particular way. Some frequencies take away negative feelings, others activate the pineal gland and things like that. Others like 5 to 8 hertz are said to be found in all of nature, resonate like leaves and plants and everything in the nature seem to have 5 to 8 hertz resonating within them, and within the universe as well. The 5 to 8 hertz seems to be a very harmonious number. For me, the number 417 was a great frequency for getting rid of negative feelings. So the first combinations there are combinations of 1, 4, and 7. And the second combination there are combinations of 2, 5, and 8. And the last combinations then of solfeggio frequencies are 3, 6, and 9. So they can happen within any one of these patterns, but they always have to, these three numbers have to stay together. And I'll explain that, why that is in this video. So there again, you see the solfeggio frequencies kind of playing out as well. So something interesting as well, I noticed one time it was a Greek musician postulated the idea that the number 27 kind of is intertwined with everything, particularly in music theory. That if you study music, the harmonics of musical instruments, if someone really goes deep into it, the frequencies of and the harmonics of the sound that they're playing, and they calculate it, they'll notice that the number 27 comes out a lot. And something I noticed here while becoming in tune with solfeggio frequencies, that the number 27, when you add it to a solfeggio frequency, it always comes to a corresponding combinational opposite. What I mean here is, if you have a look at the number 147, if you add 27 to it, it comes out as 174. So it's its combinational opposite. It's the same numbers, only you're turning them around. And this always happens when you add 27 to a solfeggio frequency. So you take another solfeggio frequency, 258, and we add 27, we get 285. take the combination 369, add 27 to it, you get 396, which is combinational opposite. Now something different happens now when you take the number 417. If you add 27 to 417, you get 444. You have to add 27 twice to get its combinational opposite, which is 471. And this happens again then with the number 528. You have to add 27 twice to get its combinational opposite. But if you add 27 to 528 once, you get 555. And it also happens with the combination frequency 639. And if you add 27 to 639, you come up with 666. If you add 27 again to 666, you get its combinational opposite, which is 693. So then the table changes again, 714. You only have to add 27 once to get the combinational opposite of 714. And this is the same for 825, and it's the same for 936. So now look at the table. To me, it almost looked like a cross. And I thought very strange. This is the number 27 runs through here within Solfeggio Harmonics, and number 27 occurs 12 times. So you have it here 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the number 27 occurs 12 times within the Solfeggio Harmonics. And think about, we have 12 hours on the clock. I just thought very strange that the number 666 come out. If you maybe read about documents on the Bible and the harmonics of it, it's actually believed that there are solfeggio frequencies embedded, or certain combinations of frequencies embedded within the Bible, and that in Jewish gematria is certain letters represent certain numbers, or certain numbers, or the opposite way around, certain numbers represent certain letters, and they actually come out as people's names. So I just thought this was strange that right at the center of this table is 555. It's like a trinity or something. As we know, 666 is the mark of the beast, and perhaps 444 is Jesus'. If you were to add gematria number theory to this number 444 and assign particular letters to the numbers 444, you might come up with the name Jesus, and its corresponding opposite name with 666, it would come out as the name Sid. So another number down as well was the number 111. If you think about the idea of, say, twin flame synchronicities, or even the ones could be an eye, it could be like a third eye. Or think about the idea of 1111. A lot of people who are, they say, they're on a divine path, believe that they see synchronistic numbers. 1111 comes out of them a lot. So I just thought it's strange that this 111 seems to run through Solfeggio Harmonics as well. If you add 111 to 147, you get 258, which is another corresponding Solfeggio frequency. If you take away 111 from 147, you get 36. The 9 is missing here, so if you take away 1 from 1, you get 0. But it almost would be another combination corresponding Solfeggio frequency. And it's actually strange that it's the number 0, and I'll talk about that in a minute. If you add 111 to 174, you get another Solfeggio frequency, which is 285. 174 minus 111 equals 063, and it keeps going on and on the table. No matter if you add or take away 111 from a Solfeggio frequency, you always come up with another corresponding Solfeggio frequency. As the table goes on. So here we have, it's interesting here why I said at the second one here that this wasn't a 9, this was a 0. Down here, 471 minus 111 equals 360. You think about the idea of 360 degrees. And think about these numbers are intertwined with our lives and the flow and the passage of time and how the universe is speaking to us. That has given us synchronistic kind of meetings and numbers and events in our life. That's changing us, that's giving us knowledge or whatever, and guiding us on a different path. But that maybe at 36, your life could turn around 360 degrees. I just thought it was interesting that this number here, if you take away 111 from 471, it doesn't break down to 369, but it's 360, which is like a three. It's something to do with circles, like your life turning around in 360 degrees. So just as strange that 111, when added subtracted to a solfeggio frequency, almost always comes to another corresponding solfeggio frequency. So the 111, I think about 1111, is intertwined with solfeggio harmonics and harmonics within the universe. It's like a number that's running through everything. And back on the other table as well, you had 555, was at the center of the table, or the center of the cross, is another number that is running through the universe as well as a harmonic. So here I want to explain another thing, which is the Vortex Mathematics. Well, first, I'll just explain that the different solfeggio frequencies. Here you have in the table starting now, one of the solfeggio frequencies was 418. So start out with 4, joined up to 1, so 417, 417. So you might ask the question, why could you not have a solfeggio frequency of 124 or 125 or 976? And the reason is, if you imagine this is a chemical structure and there's energy, electricity resonating around this structure, if it was a combination of 124 or 125, it would be polarized to one side and it wouldn't be balanced within the whole construct of the chemical or whatever this energy is resonating through. And it would seek to break away and bond with something else. So it has to stay within the circle, and it moves between the shortest path possible, which is 3 points. So it always moves within 3 numbers of one another. This is why you have the combinations of 417 and 5, 2, 8, and 6, 3, 9. You see how these numbers, they move within 3. There's always 3 numbers between them. So there's 3 numbers between 3 and 6. Or you could say there's 2 numbers between 3 and 6. 2 numbers between 6 and 9. And 2 numbers between 9 and 3. So it's the same for 417 and 528. That there always has to be 2 numbers between them, because it has to maintain this structure while resonating in the shortest path possible, which is between 3 points. So it can't be 987. It can't be 986, because it's polarized to one side within the structure. And within a chemical bond or within some sort of bond within the universe, within the nature, it would break apart and it wouldn't be stable. You wouldn't feel it as harmonious in some sense, because it wouldn't be stable. Think about this as like a dance that, if the dance is not harmonious between 2 partners, well, the other partner seeks to break away and dance with somebody else. So this is what's going on here. There's a dance going on within the universe, within the nature. And if it's not stable, if it's not using the whole dance floor, it causes problems too. And if it's not using the footsteps within the most harmonious way with it, within the shortest path possible, but using all the floor, it's not harmonious and the dance dissipates. So here then I want to explain vortex mathematics, and this kind of intertwines in with solfeggio frequencies then as well. if you notice within Vortex Mathematics, there's a sequence that comes out. Certain numbers, when you add certain numbers together, there's a particular sequence that starts to unfold, and that is 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. So this pattern keeps unfolding, so it does within Vortex Mathematics. I just lost myself there. I'll share the screen again. Be back, pause recording. So I just lost connection there for some reason. So here we start with 1. This is the number we're starting with. So we 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. So we see our pattern begins to unfold here. So 1, 2, 4, 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. And you'll see now as I begin to calculate higher numbers. So we come up to 8, so we add 8 plus 8 equals 16. We have to reduce this number because it's a double-digit number, so 1 plus 6 equals 7. And we take 16 plus 16 equals 32. And we reduce this 32, 3 plus 2 equals 5. 32 plus 32 equals 64. So 6 plus 4 equals 10, and 10 has to be reduced as well, so 1 plus 0 equals 1. So the pattern keeps unfolding. It's 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. There I have 7, 5, 1. So we begin with 1 again. So here our last number, 32 plus 32 equals 64. So we're adding now 64 plus 64, which equals 128. This is 1 plus 2 plus 8 equals 11. So we have to reduce 11 as well. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. So we begin to see our pattern unfold again. 1 was our last number here, so now 2 is coming out. So then our number which we come up to here, we added 64 plus 64 is 128, so we're adding 128 plus 128 now, which is 256. We have to reduce 256. 2 plus 5 plus 6 equals 13, we have to reduce 13. 1 plus 3 equals 4, so our pattern is beginning to unfold again. 1, and this was 1 here, the last combination. 2, and then 4, and you see then again, then if we add 256 plus 256 equals 512. 5 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8, so our pattern is unfolding again. It's the same here, it unfolded to 1, 512 plus 512. Remember our last number here, 256 plus 256 is 512, so now we're adding 512 plus 512 equals 1024. We have to reduce 1024 and to a single digit, so 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 7. So our numbers, our pattern or our sequence is unfolding again. So it is 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. So we begin to understand that here within our little diagram, that this pattern is always unfolding within the nature. You think about the idea of chemical structures and more complex chemical bonds, maybe more complex, maybe partner bonds as well. I don't know, within the universe as well. Different life forms within the universe kind of coexisting, that there are more complex arrangements. And so these numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. So it keeps resonating within this pattern. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. So this is the pattern that keeps unfolding. So here we have 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. This pattern, it just goes round in an endless loop. And this is what's happening within the nature and within the universe. The energy is moving in this pattern, so it is constantly. And this kind of describes, this pattern describes the physical world or this physical universe, how energy is oscillating through it or oscillating around it. But when we take the numbers, so we go back to our diagram here, we take the numbers 3, 6, and 9. you notice that the numbers 3, 6, and 9 didn't come out in our sequence. And this is because 3, 6, and 9 they're like stable entities. They're part of this physical cycle, but yet they can exist on their own. And this is what I'll explain now in the next part of the video. If you take the number 3 and 6. So if you add 3 combinations of 3 and 6, the result always reduces down to 3 and 6. So it doesn't unfold within the pattern I just showed you, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. It doesn't unfold within that pattern, so it doesn't. 3 plus 3 equals 6. 6 plus 6 equals 12. We reduce 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 12 plus 12 equals 24. And then 2 plus 4 equals 6. You see the same numbers that keep coming out. That no matter what combination of 3 and 6 you add, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 6, 12 plus 12, that it always reduces to 3 and 6. And this is unique in this way. It's not the same pattern as the first pattern that I showed you. 24 plus 24 equals 48. 4 plus 8 equals 12, and we reduce 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 48 plus 48 equals 96. 9 plus 6 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6. So the same pattern begins to unfold. That it always reduces down to 3 and 6. And it's like the numbers 3 and 6 are like stable entities. They're on their own, but they're part of the physical unit, but they're like something that's on their own that they always reduce down to themselves. And this is also the case then for the number 9, that adding combinations of 9 to itself always reduces down to the number 9. This is what I'll show you here. 9 plus 9 equals 18. So 18 is a double-digit number, so 1 plus 8 equals 9. 18 plus 18 equals 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9. 36 plus 36 equals 72. 7 plus 2 equals 9. 72 plus 72 equals 144. Reduce 144. 1 plus 4 plus 4 equals 9. 144 plus 144 equals 288. 2 plus 8 equals 18. And 1 plus 8 equals 9. So these, no matter what combination of 9 you add, 9 plus 9, 18 plus 18, 36 plus 36, 72 plus 72, it always reduces down to 9. So it's like 9 is like a 9 is a number that is kind of unique in that it always reduces down to itself. It's like a number that can exist on its own. Is part of the physical universe, part of the physical world, but at the same time doesn't have to be, can exist on its own at the same time. So this is why then this particular number is known as the God frequency, and it ties in with Solfeggio frequencies and Vortex Mathematics. So the number you'll notice that is associated with the God as being the God frequency is the number 963. And the reason is that I said that the numbers 9, 6, and 3 are kind of like stable entities. They're on their own. They can exist on their own, but they always reduce down to themselves. And particularly the number 9. 963 is the highest Solfeggio frequency as well. You think about it, it's the highest part of the universe, or it's the highest part of yourself. The highest Solfeggio harmonic, which is not part of our physical reality and always reduces to itself. God. So this is something that the universe imparts within certain individuals, that certain people believe that they see synchronistic numbers, synchronistic events within their lives, and you start to see these numbers unfold. They begin to not only feel them intuitively, and have dreams about them, but they begin to understand them in their own minds, how these numbers function within the universe. And it's almost like God or the universe is telling these people how these numbers play a role within our lives and how they're guiding us in everyday life. So that's just a video on Solfeggio Harmonics, Vortex Mathematics, and maybe a kind of a synchronistic kind of twist, kind of understanding the nature of the universe and the nature of God, and how certain frequencies and synchronistic events and that can guide your life in certain ways. So if you like this video, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you again.